Pittsburgh Steelers have always been a team that generates buzz in the offseason, and the latest developments are no different. From the NFL draft prospects to potential changes in the team structure, there's a lot to dive into. Let's start by focusing on some of the most recent updates surrounding the Steelers, particularly 4 key NFL draft hopefuls that were hosted for interviews earlier today. But that's just the beginning. The team is also looking at other players who may have been on their radar, but are now off the market. And there's an interesting twist regarding the possibility of the Steelers appearing again on HBO's Hard Knocks, something that could very well happen in 2025, given the recent rule changes by the NFL. As we delve into the latest buzz surrounding the Steelers, it's clear that the team is highly active in its preparations for the upcoming season. The draft is always a time of speculation and excitement, and this year is no different. The Steelers have hosted a variety of prospects for interviews, hoping to get a better understanding of who could potentially be joining their ranks in the near future. Among these prospects are 4 players who recently visited Pittsburgh's facilities for discussions with the coaching staff and management. These visits are significant, as they give the team an inside look at how these players could fit within their current roster and future plans. First, we have a running back from the University of Iowa who has caught the eye of the Steelers coaching staff. The interest in this player seems to go beyond just his physical attributes. His ability to make decisive plays on the field and his strong ball security make him a standout candidate. One thing that has made him particularly intriguing to the Steelers is his vision and ability to read the game. He's not just about power. His intelligence and decision-making in key moments have impressed scouts. What's more, he didn't fumble a single time in the past season, something that's particularly important to the Steelers' coaching philosophy, which places a heavy emphasis on ball protection. With a solid frame and impressive speed, this running back could fit perfectly into Pittsburgh's system, which relies heavily on zone running concepts. The team seems to be high on this player and could be looking at him as a potential first-round pick or possibly targeting him with a late-round trade to bring him into the fold. Next, we have a wide receiver from the University of Texas, a player whose speed and agility have caught the attention of Steelers scouts. His performance during his pro day, where he ran a blistering 4.29-second 40-yard dash, shows just how fast and explosive he is. But it's not just his speed that makes him an intriguing prospect. It's his route-running ability, his hands, and his knack for tracking the ball deep down the field. He's a receiver who can stretch the defense and make big plays when it counts. What makes him even more interesting is the fact that he's the only wide receiver to have met all of the criteria for a formal visit with the team, and he had to sit down with both the general manager and the head coach during his pro day. He's already drawing comparisons to some of the top receivers in the league, and the Steelers seem to be positioning themselves to make a move on him if he's available when their pick comes up in the first round. With a combination of size, speed, and route-running ability, he could be a key weapon for Pittsburgh's offense, particularly as a Z receiver who can stretch the field vertically. However, there are some concerns about his off-field issues, including pass punctuality problems and questions about his commitment. If the Steelers do decide to go after him, they'll need to weigh the potential risks and rewards carefully, especially since he comes with a hefty price tag. If they choose to draft him, he could instantly add a dynamic element to the receiving core, but some might argue that the risk may not be worth using a first-round pick on him. Personally, while the talent is undeniable, I would hesitate to take a wide receiver in the first round, preferring to hold on to other assets that could better serve the team in the long run. Meanwhile, there's a cornerback from Florida State who has also made a strong impression during his visit. His physicality and ability to match up against top-tier wide receivers are qualities that stand out to scouts. He's an aggressive player who isn't afraid to mix it up in the trenches, and his ability to read the quarterback and jump routes is impressive. He's definitely one to watch as the Steelers continue to shape their defensive backfield, and there's a chance they could bring him in as a potential future starter. However, there are still several other prospects on the team's radar who could potentially fill that role as well, and it remains to be seen whether the Steelers will make a move for a cornerback in this year's draft. As of now, though, the Florida State cornerback stands out as the only player in this position to have been invited to one of the team's top 30 visits, signaling just how much interest the Steelers have in his potential. Also noteworthy is the visit of a tight end from the University of Pittsburgh, a player who is local to the Pittsburgh area. While he doesn't count toward the team's 30-visit limit, his presence is still significant. He's an intriguing prospect who could provide depth to the tight end position and offer another reliable option in the passing game. He might not be the flashiest pick, but he's certainly one that could be a valuable asset to the team, especially given the Steelers' focus on improving their offense. With a solid all-around game and the ability to contribute as both a blocker and a receiver, this tight end could end up being a smart addition, potentially in one of the later rounds. All of these players represent different areas of need for the Steelers, from the running back position to the wide receiver and cornerback spots, and even at tight end. The team is casting a wide net in terms of potential draft picks, looking at players who could help in a variety of roles. With so many prospects on their radar, it's clear that the Steelers are not taking this draft lightly and are doing their due diligence to make sure they bring in the best possible talent to help them compete in the years to come. Looking at the bigger picture, there's also the ongoing conversation about the Steelers' potential return to HBO's Hard Knocks in 2025. Recent changes to the NFL's participation rules have made this a more likely possibility. In the past, teams that made the playoffs in any of the previous 2 seasons were exempt from being featured on Hard Knocks. However, this exemption no longer exists, which means the Steelers could very well be in the running to be featured on the show if the NFL and HBO decide to highlight them. While it's unclear if the Steelers will ultimately be chosen, the possibility is there, and many fans are excited about the idea of getting an inside look at the team's preparations for the upcoming season. Of course, there are always mixed feelings about the potential distractions that come with being featured on a show like Hard Knocks, but for many fans, the opportunity to see the team up close and personal is something they'd welcome. As we continue to follow the developments surrounding the Steelers, it's clear that the team is making moves and doing everything it can to stay competitive. With the draft just around the corner, we can expect even more news and rumors to emerge, and there will be plenty of opportunities to speculate on what the Steelers will do next. Whether they end up selecting a running back, wide receiver, cornerback, or tight end, one thing is certain. The Steelers are making a concerted effort to strengthen their roster and position themselves for success in the future. As we continue to evaluate the Steelers' current strategy, there are more developments on the horizon that could significantly impact the direction the team takes in the upcoming draft and beyond. After focusing on the key draft prospects and the possible return to HBO's Hard Knocks, it's time to shift gears and dive deeper into the potential moves the Steelers could make based on the players they've already met with and the strategic needs they aim to address. Let's begin with the running back position, a spot where the Steelers have shown considerable interest. The running back from the University of Iowa, who has impressed during his visit, could very well be the centerpiece of Pittsburgh's draft plans this year. Given his physical attributes and exceptional decision-making on the field, he seems like a perfect fit for the team's offensive scheme, which thrives on powerful, hard-nosed football. His ability to break tackles and his strong vision have made him a top target for the Steelers, who are looking for someone who can handle the workload and carry the offense when necessary. What stands out about him, though, is his unshakable ball security. In a season where turnovers are crucial, a player who has demonstrated the ability to protect the ball under pressure is invaluable, especially in a system that values consistency and minimizing mistakes. The Steelers know that a reliable running back is a key piece to any successful offense, and this player's ability to excel in a zone-heavy blocking scheme makes him an attractive prospect. Furthermore, the Steelers have not only shown interest in him, but they've also taken steps to ensure they could potentially move up to secure him. There are whispers that the team might even consider trading down in the first round to acquire additional picks, then using one of those picks to select this running back. This would allow them to address other needs while still securing a player they believe could be a game-changer in their backfield. If the team does move down, it would show just how committed they are to balancing the future of the team while ensuring they don't overcommit to one position. Given the high value of first-round picks, a trade down would provide the Steelers with more flexibility, which is always crucial when building a roster. In terms of team needs, while running back is a top priority, they're also keeping a close eye on other positions that could benefit from an upgrade, such as wide receiver and cornerback. The draft is full of talent across multiple positions, and Pittsburgh has the luxury of filling various holes on their roster with high-caliber players. On the subject of wide receivers, there's been considerable buzz around the player from the University of Texas, and rightfully so. His explosive speed, combined with his excellent route-running skills, has made him one of the most talked-about prospects in this draft class. The fact that he ran a sub 4.30 dash at his pro day shows just how much potential he has to take the top off a defense. But what really makes him a standout is his ability to consistently make plays in critical situations. Whether it's tracking deep balls, making spectacular catches on the sideline, or creating separation with his quickness, he's an athlete who can elevate any offense. If the Steelers were to select him in the first round, they would immediately add a dynamic weapon to their receiving core, someone who can stretch the field vertically and make life easier for their quarterbacks. His skills would complement the existing talent on the roster, providing a deep threat that the Steelers' offense currently lacks. While concerns about his off-field issues persist, it's hard to ignore his incredible on-field talent and the potential he brings to the team. If the Steelers do decide to go in a different direction and not select a wide receiver in the first round, it's likely because they believe that addressing other positions, such as cornerback, could be more beneficial for the team at this moment. The cornerback from Florida State is an intriguing option for Pittsburgh, as he brings a level of physicality and coverage ability that the Steelers could greatly benefit from in their defensive backfield. With a growing emphasis on passing offenses across the league, adding a player who can match up against elite wide receivers is essential for the team's long-term success. His experience in one-on-one coverage situations, combined with his ability to read the quarterback's eyes and anticipate throws, makes him a prime candidate for Pittsburgh's defensive back rotation. While the Steelers may not be as desperate to draft a cornerback as they are for a running back or wide receiver, this player's skill set could be too good to pass up, especially considering the evolution of the league's offensive strategies. It's easy to envision him coming in and contributing immediately, possibly even competing for a starting role. When we talk about potential selections beyond the first round, the Steelers have a number of players on their radar who could provide immediate depth and support in key areas. They've been closely monitoring the defensive tackle position, and players like the defensive tackle from Ole Miss and another from Iowa could be valuable additions to their defensive front. The Steelers have always prided themselves on a strong defensive line, and adding depth in the interior would go a long way toward maintaining their defensive dominance. These players offer a mix of strength and technique that would complement Pittsburgh's existing defensive line, and with the right coaching, they could emerge as key contributors in the near future. The tight end from the University of Pittsburgh, while not counted against the team's top 30 visit limit, is another name to watch. Tight end is a position that the Steelers have often found success with, and adding local talent could be a smart move. His ability to block in the run game, while also being a reliable target in the passing game, gives him the versatility the Steelers value. He might not have the same high-profile status as some of the other draft prospects, but his well-rounded skill set could make him a sleeper pick who contributes right away. The Steelers have had success with late-round tight end selections in the past, and it wouldn't be surprising to see them take another shot at this position, especially given the depth of talent available in the later rounds. The Steelers' approach to the draft is all about balance. They've been doing their homework and are prepared to address a variety of needs across the roster. While some positions are more pressing than others, the front office understands that every move they make could have a ripple effect on the team's future. Whether they end up selecting a running back, wide receiver, cornerback, or tight end in the first round, or look to make a trade, Pittsburgh is in a position to make smart, calculated decisions that will set them up for success not only this season, but for years to come. As the draft approaches, the Steelers' faithful will be keeping a close eye on every move the team makes. The hope is that the front office will make the right decisions, bringing in talent that can help the team contend for championships in the near future. There's a lot of excitement surrounding the team, and it will be fascinating to see how everything unfolds as they prepare for the next chapter in their storied history. With so many variables in play, the Steelers' draft class of 2025 could very well shape the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. The next few months will be crucial as Pittsburgh works to bolster its roster and make moves that could ultimately lead to success on the field. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through the NFL, rumors have begun to swirl that Joshua Allen, the star quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, could be heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The whispers started quietly, but have quickly gained traction, igniting speculation and anticipation among fans and analysts alike. Could one of the league's most dynamic players make the move to the Steel City? The video making the rounds is adding fuel to the fire, teasing that a major announcement might be imminent, though details remain scarce. Allen, who has been the face of the Bills' resurgence over the past few seasons, has solidified his status as a top-tier quarterback. With impressive stats, including 6 playoff appearances and 5 division titles, his name has become synonymous with excellence. However, despite his continued success, some are suggesting that a change of scenery might be in store. Could the Steelers, known for their storied history and formidable defense, be the perfect destination for Allen to reach new heights? The possibility of him leading Pittsburgh's offense is tantalizing, but what could it mean for the future of both teams? The Bills, while starting the 2024 season strong, have faced struggles, including injuries and key player departures. Allen himself has had his fair share of tough moments, including a concerning hit against the Houston Texans that raised questions about his health. These incidents have led some to believe that Allen's time in Buffalo could be nearing its end, especially given the team's roster shakeup and salary cap constraints. In this climate of uncertainty, the Steelers, who have been quietly strengthening their roster, might just see this as the right time to make a bold move. If the trade rumors are true, the Steelers would undoubtedly be making one of the biggest gambles in recent memory. With a quarterback of Allen's caliber, Pittsburgh could contend for championships like never before. His unique ability to make plays with both his arm and his legs, as showcased by his historic performances, could propel the Steelers into the elite tier of NFL teams. The thought of Allen wearing black and gold has Steelers fans buzzing with excitement, eagerly hoping that this fantasy becomes reality. But as the video teasing this blockbuster move makes the rounds, the question remains, is this just another offseason rumor, or is there something more to it? The NFL world is watching closely, and as the weeks unfold, all eyes will be on both the Bills and the Steelers. Could Joshua Allen be the next big name to make a splash in Pittsburgh? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The excitement surrounding this potential move is only just beginning. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.